He has limited English capabilities. He has some prior mental health issues, so I'm not sure what he told police, but I can't really comment much further.
Freddie Cruz's lawyer addresses the media in Worcester District Court Thursday. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. Cruz is accused of accosting 3 teenage girls in 3 separate incidents on Apricot Street. The 22-year-old Worcester man was arraigned in court Thursday. Our Olivia Lemon was there and has more.
Behind a closed door to protect his identity, Freddie Cruz appears in Worcester District Court Thursday. The 22-year-old Worcester man faces multiple charges, including 3 counts of kidnapping and 3 counts of assault and battery.
There is some concern, Your Honor, due to the fact that he did report back to the same scene that he admitted to being at earlier, the same scene where 3 young girls were grabbed.
Worcester police say he is the man accused of trying to kidnap 3 teenage girls Wednesday morning on their way to school. Police say Cruz was spotted Thursday morning in the same location on Apricot Street as the reported incidents. His clothing matched the description given to police by the teens. He also had a backpack.
There were a number of cell phones, Your Honor, water bottles, rope, 2 different types of rope, approximately 5 different sets of pliers, a pocket knife, a large roll of duct tape, what appears to be somewhat of a drill.
Cruz's lawyer asked the judge to protect his identity because police first reported the suspect being a white male in his 50s, and Cruz is a 22-year-old from El Salvador.
I'm not sure how fluid the question and answering session went. I'm not sure what he said, and I'm not sure under what circumstances he said it.
Police say the suspect approached the girls from behind. All 3 girls fought back, and the man fled the area. When officers spotted Cruz Thursday, they say he acknowledged he was involved in the reported incidents. Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
A developing story out of Leominster tonight. A man is dead after a broken branch causes him to fall to his death. Jackie Bruno has more.
It was a freak accident.
A freak accident that happened in his backyard. Dennis Owen was watching as a crew from Affordable Landscaping and Tree Service was taking down an 80-foot pine behind his Flagger Road home in Leominster on Thursday.
He was at the top of that tree. He notched it on the back and then turned around and said goodbye to the tree and started cutting it. It fell. It hit those other 2 trees standing up there, further trees, and it hit and it came back towards the bucket.
Inside that bucket was a 26-year-old man. According to police, he wasn't wearing a harness. He fell 60 feet to the ground.
Yes, I ran in the house to call 911.
Owen later learned that the young man died in the hospital.
He's so helpless. Seeing a guy falling, there's nothing you can do.
We met a friend of the victim who did not want his face shown on camera. He works for another tree service company, but knew the victim in high school.
He was a good kid, you know. He was in the ROTC at school and all around good kid.
Now friends and family are mourning the loss of a young man gone way too soon.
The Dudley Police Department is asking for your help finding this teenager. Take a look. 15-year-old Dominic Kimball was last seen on Sunday. He has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information on his disappearance, you're asked to call Dudley Police. One of the drivers involved in Thursday's school bus accident in Sudbury has died. The 73-year-old woman was rushed to the hospital after the crash on Concord Road. Our Andy Madison has the story.
A tarp covers the car driven by 73-year-old Patricia Metz. The Cadillac and school bus involved in Wednesday's crash are at the Sudbury Police Department. Key pieces of evidence in the crash investigation.
Assessment of the scene, photographs, looking at what other electronic devices might be available to us to review and find all the facts, dot our I's, cross our T's before we make any final determination.
This was the scene on Concord Road when a bus carrying Algonquin High School girls rugby team collided with Metz's car.
I was like half asleep, and then I just felt like a really quick, hard stop, and I heard like this shattering glass noise, and I went for it, and then my head smashed against the back of the window.
Several students were injured, and Metz was rushed to a Boston hospital where she later died.
It was very readily apparent that she was the most severely injured, so that was the priority at that point for us and fire personnel.
Police say the school bus driver and the Algonquin students injured have been released from the hospital. How the crash happened is still being investigated. The 2 vehicles remain, a symbol of yesterday's tragic accident.
I'm praying for her, honestly. My heart breaks.
Our prayers and thoughts go out to the family, and reminder to be careful.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
An advisory to drivers tonight: a planned detour on 290 in Worcester is being rescheduled due to the weather. Crews will not be working on the new Belmont Street Bridge Thursday. The planned detour of 290 westbound will now take place on Monday, April 11th. 290 will be closed and detoured at exit 18 Lincoln Street. Mass DOT says so far the 2 nights of work and road detours have been successful. Well, students getting parking tickets forgiven at Assumption College today, and it was all for a good cause. Assumption College hosts a parking ticket exchange on campus Thursday.
We try to raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project. Basically what we can do is students can bring their tickets in, donate $10, and the fine will be removed so that they don't have to pay the full price of the ticket.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a cause near and dear for many in the Assumption College Police Department.
Our department is actually made up of quite a few veterans. There's 2 of us currently serving and quite a few that have served.
This is the 3rd year for the ticket program. Last year, the exchange raised $3,000, and they're hoping for more success this year.
It's awesome. It's definitely an awesome thing having this campus support veterans.
Wages for workers. It was one of the topics discussed tonight at an early education roundtable. Local elected officials, parents, and educators gathered at Rock of Salvation Pentecostal Church to discuss some of the challenges in early education and child care. The most popular topic was the near-poverty wages earned by child care providers and the steps being made towards $15 an hour wages. State Representative Dan Donahue was among those in attendance tonight and says he supports the raise in wages.
So making sure that we're fairly compensating the people that are providing these crucial services to our families and our community here in the city. $15 an hour is a very fair wage for them to be compensated for.
It helps us, it helps the children, it helps the parents, it helps the community, and it helps our economy.
Heavy rains today are helping with lower water levels in Worcester's reservoirs, but they could create an issue around Lake Quinsigamond, where observers are worried about possible flooding downstream. Our Brittany Schaefer has the details.
We're still below where we'd like to be.
Worcester residents and businesses are still being advised to save water. Department of Public Works Commissioner Paul Moosey says the reservoirs are at 90%, and he hopes to be at 100% by the end of April.
Once the vegetation comes out, the reservoirs won't fill.
Thursday's rain may create a different problem for Lake Quinsigamond, where water levels are high.
It's actually higher than it normally is.
Last year, the gate allowing water to flow out to the river had holes in it. While it's being repaired this year, the commission has no control over the water levels.
The level keeps going up and we can't really control it.
Peter Collins is the chairman of Lake Quinsigamond Commission. He says he monitors the water flow into the lake, and the normal speed is around 55 cubic feet per second. He expects the added rainfall will increase the speed by almost double.
What happens is if it rains an inch, the lake will go up 3 inches.
Collins says this rapidly increasing water level could be a major flooding problem. He says no matter how much you plan, Mother Nature will always throw you a curveball.
It's interesting that we had a record snowstorm, record snowfall, we had ice cap on the lake this time of year. That's when I would have predicted, hey, we're going to have an issue with the water being too high, versus going through a time of a drought.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.